Hello friends, this is Youheum. Today I collaborate with Leafy, so feel free to visit her channel for her Minimalist Day video. I had a lazy morning and woke up around 9:30 instead of my usual time, which is at 6. If you've already joined me on my journey, you probably know that I practice furniture-free living and I sleep in a hammock. It's been about a half a year and I enjoy the gentle sway of my hammock. I used to use a futon for many years before transitioning. I used to struggle with staying hydrated, but now I keep it consistent by drinking lemon water or peppermint tea as soon as I wake up. After drinking about a cup and a half, I chose a 15-minute guided meditation on my Insight Timer app. I've been practicing meditation and mindfulness for about 5 years, but more intentional with my practice in the past 3 years. I will talk more about my past and how I transitioned in future videos, and I'll also share stories of my shopaholic past. I skipped yoga and went for a gentle stretching session to take it easy. I tried to show up to the altar for morning affirmations and prayers. I used to not believe in the power of healing, but now I'm happy to have found this path. Before jumping on my plan to get some household duties done, I drank fresh celery juice to help with my liver detox routine. Also, be sure to share with me what's one routine that you stick with no matter what. Let me know in the comments below. I have about 30 minutes before I can eat my first meal to let the celery do the work, so I decided to wash my clothes with my scrubber bag. I own 15 clothes, so I choose to do small batches of laundry by hand. I used a communal laundromat in my apartment complex for large loads like sheets and rugs. I decided to do 2 full loads and use my homemade chemical-free laundry detergent, which you can find the recipe in my blog. I usually wash with warm water once and then rinse with cold water at the end. I understand that everyone is different with their level of comfort, so it's okay to not agree with the practice of simple living or my kind of lifestyle. I accept others completely without resistance or criticism for their lifestyle choices. It was a really nice day outside and it's mostly sunny in Austin, so I just use a paracord on my balcony to dry the clothes. I can also add some eucalyptus essential oil fabric spray if I want to freshen it up a bit. After taking care of laundry, I did some house cleaning. I don't own any vacuum cleaner, so I do the cleaning with a dustpan and a bamboo rag. I don't find it too difficult because I have done it many times in my Korean household when I was young. So I take my time being mindful throughout the process of tidying up my space. I have a vegetable plot in my community garden, and it feels good to be able to grow some of my own food. I decided to make a simple salad with watermelon radishes that I planted in February, and I'll be going to the garden later in the day to check it out. I also had a blueberry and spirulina smoothie because the salad was not filling enough. Because I don't have any dining tables or chairs, I eat my meals on the floor. When it's closer to 11, I start working on my laptop. I'm a freelance designer, illustrator, and content creator. It's been about a year and a half since I quit my full-time job and transitioned to a digital nomad. Sometimes I'm able to focus more when I change up the environment, so I enjoy going to different places for work. If you want to know more about supporting a living through creative money making, I will go into details in my future video, including how I manage my finances and how I make money on my blog and YouTube using my creativity. I took my zero waste cup and had some fruit smoothie. I'm not 100% waste free, and I simply focus on doing my best to be sustainable, and I admit that I'm not perfect in my practice. It was getting close to lunchtime, so I headed to the domain for a raw salad. It's tough to keep up with my raw vegan diet, but I am enjoying it so far, even with some passing cravings. I finished everything I planned to do on this day, which was laundry, cleaning, and work, so I headed to my garden to enjoy my hobby and to have some relaxing time. I will soon do a video on the hobbies that I enjoy as an extreme minimalist. I love taking my bike to the garden, but instead I walked for about 30 minutes. I passed through a nearby trail to practice some mindful walking and breathing. When I arrived, I noticed that the blackberries were coming out and I got really excited. My plot is thriving and actually a bit overwhelming to have too much lettuce, so I shared with my neighbors and gave them mustard greens as well. I decided to harvest some cilantro, Korean crown daisies, and bok choys into my crocheted produce bag, and I spotted one strawberry that looked ripe enough, but it was not sweet. The community shares herbs, so I grabbed some rosemary and other plants to make DIY smudge sticks at home. I do enjoy making my own things so that I can reduce packaging waste and be more mindful of the process. My sister recently made this crochet hair tie with recycled rubber band, and I find it useful, especially on hot days. It was pretty humid and the temperature was around 75 degrees. So I decided to take a shower before wrapping up the day. I don't have a shower curtain, so I shower sitting down using a hose. I know some of you were curious about my chlorine filter, so I'll link it in the descriptions below. I was craving something refreshing, so I made a smoothie bowl with the bok choy flowers and nasturtiums that I got from the garden. I truly enjoy what makes me feel nourished, like good healthy food that's compatible for my own body, and nourishing activities like walking in the woods. Before making dinner, I took some time to relax and let my hair dry. I do not own any physical books, and I simply use my ebook reader, and the library is actually right next to the community garden, so I often check out books there. I grabbed my mindfulness teacher Thich Nhat Hanh's book, Anger, and he has always led me towards the path of compassion and loving kindness. And I'm so happy that some of you were interested enough to read his book and share your thoughts on it through Instagram and in the comments. This day was both productive and nourishing for me, and of course, I also have lazy days when I do nothing and laze around, but I try to stay mindful even when I'm not being really intentional and productive with my time. I'm glad that I was able to share this moment with you, and also if you're interested, feel free to check out Leafy's video on her day. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and thanks again for being here, and I hope to see you again soon.